It seems really intimidating because it's closer to Finland, you know, the country is, and everyone hears about how hard Finnish is. So when I got my call to Norway, everyone was saying, "Oh, like you're gonna have such a hard time learning that language." But in reality, I didn't feel like it was that difficult. Obviously, learning a new language is hard no matter what language it is, but there's a lot of similarities to English, and it's a Germanic language. And so if you have any connections to German, learning Norwegian won't be as difficult. The grammar is different than English, but it's not as difficult as you may think. It's very simple. There's very few rules, but the one rule, or the few rules that they do have, are pretty easy to mess up. And so as long as you focus on learning those basic rules, then the grammar is not that hard. The hardest thing about learning Norwegian is the pronunciation. It's very easy to speak grammatically perfect Norwegian, but sound 100% like an American. And that's one thing that a lot of missionaries struggle with, is getting the pronunciation right. So they'll understand you, but they'll know right off the bat that you're an American, and that's something that most Norwegian missionaries, especially that are American, get frustrated with, because we all want to master the language, but getting those pronunciations things down is really hard. And one of the reasons for that is that there are so many dialects in Norwegian that they just tweak the pronunciation just a little bit, that it's hard to master one set of Norwegian dialect. But that's one of my favorite things about the Norwegian language, is the dialects, because depending on how someone speaks, you can understand and determine where they're from. So the west coast of Norway, you can hear a lot of like the guttural, like scarring of the R's, and then in Oslo they roll the R's. That's kind of the general thing, where you can tell at least what part of Norway they're from, and that was really interesting to see. And a lot of Norwegian missionaries try and pick up some of the dialects, and that kind of, it becomes a fun game to see, you know, what missionaries are learning what dialect, and it's fun because we can all understand each other. It's not different enough where it's a new language, but it's just different enough to make it unique, and I thought that was really fun.